Hello everyone, welcome back to another Elden Ring video. So lately I have been wondering how big are things in Elden Ring actually, because they don't really give us like an idea of how big things are as this fantasy world. And today I want to check out how big is actually a bear in Elden Ring, and to do that we'll figure out how big we are as a character, and then we'll figure out a normal bear size, which is this one right in front of me, and then one of those big bears. So before we jump into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. And also now we have the join button. If you want to become a member of the channel and help the channel even more, you can become a member. And right now there are some cool perks, you get some badges, and we'll be adding new levels as time comes. So if you want to become a member, just click the join button and let's get into the video. So let's begin with one of these regular sized bears that I found in Caelid. So I wanted to see first of all how big this bear is, and to figure out this number actually we have to figure out how big are we. And if you have watched my previous videos, we saw that the average human female, so I'm a female character, and the average human female has a distance from shoulder to shoulder of around 14.4 inches or 36.7 centimeters. So based on that, we are now able to calculate how tall we are and then compare that to the bear. So this is a screenshot that I took. This is a perfect size comparison screenshot. So here we are. Each segment here in this line is shoulder length, as I can show you there. And then you can see that we're about 4.5 shoulder lengths in height. So that translates to about 1.65 meters tall, or 5 foot and 5 inches tall. So having that said, now we're able to get into how big is a regular sized bear here. So the regular sized bear looks to be about twice as big as we are, or twice as tall at least. So once we have that into consideration, we can see that it's actually a little bit smaller than twice as big. It's about 1.75, so 1 3/4, so to say. So it comes out to 289 centimeters or 9 foot 6 tall, 9 foot and 6 inches tall. So you can see that a large male bear, a Kodiak bear, can get to around 10 feet tall. That's the largest bear in the world. So this is pretty much in line with what we know so far. So this bear is pretty much the size of the largest bear in the world. So that's pretty cool that the game in this way is kind of like real life. So again, we're just trying to take measurements from things that don't have measurements. It's a fantasy game, so it looks real. So the next step is to actually go and find one of those huge bears that are in the game and see actually how big are those compared to this bear, compared to us, and compared to other real world things. So let's jump into that part and figure out. Let's first find a bear and figure out how tall that bear is. So now we're here where you can find one of the first big bears in the game, and I'm crouching because I don't want to alarm this bear, because ideally I would be able to sneak up behind him or onto his side and be able to compare it. But if I alarm him, then that would be hard to do. So I'm just using the mimic veil to transform into any object and try to sneak up to the bear. So now we're really close to the bear, and unfortunately we actually alarmed the bear, so now we have to fight it. I don't think I will be able to do it when I'm sneaking, so I actually have to try to do it in a straight up fight with it. So now what we have to do, knowing our height, we have to compare our height to something in the bear and see how tall that is. So let's wait for the bear to kind of stand up, as we saw before. Like right now, I'm trying to get closer to him. Also, I don't want to die. And then once I get closer to him, I'll try to compare myself to something. I think it's looking like I'm about a little smaller than his hind legs. So I actually died, so I had to do everything all over again. And now I have one of the smaller bears attacking me, and I alarmed the big bear. So this is a very hard area to measure things. So we still are going to try to do it. And as I was saying, I think I'm about as big or as tall as his hind legs, as his back legs. So I'm gonna wait for him to stand up and try to stand next to him to see if it's if that is the case, if I'm actually the same size or very similar in size, so then we can compare. And it looks like it is when he's on all fours. Let's see when he stands up. That's the most important part. There we go. So you could see right there for a brief second that I was pretty much the same size. So the next step now is to get him to stand up and get it all in one shot, which is really hard when you're at the same time not trying to fight him but trying to get these kinds of images. So there we go. So right now I froze the screen, and that's how tall this big bear actually is. So if you take his hind leg, you can see that it was pretty much my height. So there might be a little bit of a difference, but you can see that it comes out to about 3.75 heights, or how big I am. So you just have to multiply how tall we are by 3.75, and that should get you around approximately how big this bear is. So if we do the math, multiply 3.75 by our height, we get 6.19 meters or 20 feet and 4 inches tall. So now we're gonna compare this bear size to some real world things, just to give you an idea of how big this bear would be in the real world. So here we go. Comparing it to basketball hoops. So an official basketball hoop is 10 feet tall. So the bear is actually equal to 2 basketball hoops, NBA size. So imagine how freaking large that would be on a basketball court, just for you to have an idea if it's 2 basketball hoops tall. And then the next thing we're going to compare it to is to a real world giraffe, just like this one right here. This one is a picture that I took of a giraffe. You can see that it's very real. But joking aside, a giraffe is actually around 20 feet tall, a little bit less. The average is 18 feet tall, but they can reach 20 feet tall. So just imagine a damn bear fighting a giraffe in the savannas. I know they probably wouldn't be in the same environment, but just imagine them side by side. So I think this bear would tear the giraffe apart. So this is it for this video. I hope this video was enjoyable. I hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. Comment down below what else in Elden Ring you would see me measure, or weird things that you would like me to do. And subscribe to the channel if you want to help the channel further. Become a member if you also want to support the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.